Today, we are diving deep into what really separates the winning traders from, well, everyone else. And spoiler alert, it is not some secret formula or a hot stock tip. It's all about having a system. We're going to explore the core rules of risk and discipline, using Bennett McDowell's fantastic work as our guide to building a money management system that can actually last. Let's get right into it. So, we're going to start with a paradox, something that sounds completely contradictory, but it's right at the heart of what it takes to be a professional trader. Honestly, it's an idea so counterintuitive that it stops most people dead in their tracks. To get our heads around this, just look at this quote. It's from Steve Nyssen, the guy who literally brought candlestick charting to the Western world. He says that the most successful traders he's ever worked with have had more losing trades than winning ones. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. More losses than gains. Right? The immediate question is, how on earth is that possible? How can you lose more often than you win and still come out on top, still be profitable? The answer is probably not what you think, but it is the absolute key to surviving in the markets. And the answer lies in something that, let's be honest, most people find incredibly boring. It's the unsexy, unglamorous, but absolutely vital truth behind why the vast majority of traders ultimately fail. Here it is. The secret isn't about being a genius who can predict every market move. It's not about having a brilliant idea for every single trade. McDowell's whole system is built on this one idea. The number one reason people fail is simply a lack of discipline in managing their money. You can have the best strategy in the world, but it means nothing if you give all your profits back on a few bad trades. You've lost the game before it even really started.
So what even is money management? It's the boring stuff. It's figuring out your exit point before you even click the buy button. It's calculating exactly how much you can afford to risk. It's keeping detailed records of every single move you make. The first chapter of McDowell's book is literally called "It Just Ain't Sexy." And that's precisely why most people skip over it, and they pay a heavy price for it.
And this right here is exactly what happens when you don't have that boring system locked in place. You enter a trade, the adrenaline kicks in, you feel that thrill of being right. But then the market turns. Without a plan, that thrill instantly flips into pure dread. Your judgment gets cloudy, you freeze up, and you start making choices based on fear and hope, which are probably the two most expensive emotions in all of finance. Now, this isn't just some theory. To really drive home the cost of emotional trading, we're going to look at a real-world story from the author himself. This is the one trade that taught him the most valuable and expensive lesson of his entire career.
So years ago, McDowell put on a short trade on a stock called Applied Materials, ticker AMAT. All his analysis suggested the price was about to drop. But, as it often does, the market had other ideas. The stock started ripping higher, moving hard against his position. But he didn't have an exit plan, no stop loss. So he rationalized, he hoped. And for 3 agonizing weeks, he just watched in a state of shock as his paper loss got bigger and bigger, until he finally couldn't stand the pain anymore. He exited the trade for a $30,000 loss.
But the pain didn't stop him from making the next classic mistake. He was furious. He felt a desperate need to get his money back from the market. So he jumped right back in with an angry revenge trade. Of course, the market doesn't care about your feelings. It immediately reversed again and slapped him with another $2,000 loss. This is just a textbook example of letting pure emotion drive your decisions.
So let's just tally up the damage here. In just 4 weeks, one undisciplined trade, followed by one angry reaction, cost him a staggering $32,000. That, right there, is the price you pay for trading without a system.
McDowell has the perfect way of describing this experience. He says the markets are the ultimate university. And yeah, sometimes the tuition is just as expensive as an Ivy League school. But it was this incredibly painful lesson that forced him to create the very system we're about to break down. Okay, so we have seen the problem in painful detail. Now let's talk about the solution. How do you protect yourself from that kind of disaster and actually start to thrive? It all comes down to 3 simple keys. McDowell suggests we completely reframe how we think about this. Stop thinking of money management as a bunch of restrictive rules. Instead, start thinking of it as an insurance policy. It's just like car insurance. It's a cost of doing business that protects you from a catastrophic event. In trading, that event is called the risk of ruin. It's your financial seatbelt. So what does this insurance policy actually look like? Well, it's built on 3 pillars. Number 1, always use stop-loss exits. Number 2, calculate your correct trade size. And number 3, keep impeccable records. That's it. It sounds simple, but it's definitely not easy.
Let's just quickly run through those. A stop loss is your pre-planned escape hatch. It's what saves you from that $30,000 disaster. Trade size means you're only risking a tiny fixed percentage of your total capital, say 2% on any one idea. That's how you can take a string of losses and still stay in the game. And record keeping, that's your feedback loop. It's how you actually learn from your mistakes and get better over time. But there's one final piece to this puzzle. You can have the best mechanical system in the world with perfect stop losses and perfect position sizing, and it can still all fall apart. Why? Because of the person who's actually running the system. And here's what it all boils down to. A system can give you a statistical edge, but it's self-awareness, understanding yourself, that gives you the ability to use that edge consistently. Without it, your own psychology will turn against you. Greed, fear, anger, all those emotions will make you break your own rules right when you need them the most. McDowell uses the idea of yin and yang to explain this internal struggle. We usually think traders need to be all yang, aggressive, active, dominant. But a supposedly weak yin trait like being passive can actually be a superpower. It allows you to accept what the market is giving you and just flow with it, instead of trying to fight it, which is always a recipe for disaster. Knowing which side of your own personality is at the wheel is the final crucial key. And this really brings us to the ultimate lesson from his work. Success in the markets isn't just about the mechanics of your system. As McDowell puts it, it's about an exceptional understanding of yourself, along with the system that will give you your edge. You need both. They work together. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. You can go out and build the perfect system. You can define all the rules and have everything dialed in. But the only question that really matters in the end is this one. Is your system strong enough to protect you from yourself